how to save money with low income or no income at all. If I would have saved $1 for every time I've heard this phrase, I would have made $1 million by now, passively, very, very easy. In fact, this is the title of one of my book, which actually my first book, which was published on Amazon in 2014, and it was one of the top business seller book in that time. And the title is How to Save Money When There Is No Money to Save. And believe me, every time people ask me that question, and the main reason, I'm not an author, I'm in that way born to be an author, but the reason I wrote that book was just people ask me that question so often that I thought, well, I might as well put it in there so then everybody can get the benefit. And the good news is, if you look at the Amazon in Australia, the Kindle version is free at the moment, so you can easily get it and read it through. But today, we're gonna look at this topic, so just to make it more easier for everyone. And now, after 6 years since that book is done, more than ever, people ask me that question. And people have the fear of maybe another global financial crisis happens, or what's gonna happen with the jobs, and all these problems, and what's happening with the share market, and now these days with the coronavirus and many, many unknown factors out there. There is more stress around money and the financial stability for the future. So today we're going to talk about that. Hi, my name is Helia Singh, and welcome to my show, Wealth Coaching with Helia Singh, the fastest way to build wealth. Hi, my name is Helia Singh, and I'm a wealth coach and money expert. If this is the first time you are watching this episode, or if by just looking at the title that caught your eyes, there must be a good reason for that. So I suggest you to subscribe and like, so because I know life gets busy, something comes up, a telephone comes in, and so you have to attend something else. So this way you will save it. So then later on you can get back to that and learn the stuff you wanted. At the same time, once you like and subscribe, YouTube is going to show you similar topics, because according to what you already like, and show you other views from different experts, so you will get the full benefit. And for those of you who've been following us and our fan, thank you very much for watching and being here. This is the reason we are here, just to share with you what we know and create a community to support each other financially. So have you ever found that saving money is an impossible task? Or have you ever found that by the time you get a pay rise, the actual money is gone, and you don't even know where it's gone? So you are not alone. And financial problem is nothing to be ashamed of. Unfortunately, this is a very, very important skill which they don't teach us at the school. And if you ever thought that financial skill or money mastery is something that must be in your DNA, or is a talent that only runs in the family, I've got a good news for you. It is not. Financial mastery is not a talent, it's a skill. And the skill can be learned at any age with a bit of practice. And my purpose and mission is to make the money mastery fun, fast, with no jargon and no big promises or hollow promises. So this is a real practice, one-to-one. We're just sitting here and having a chat about it. So I suggest you to get your pen and paper ready like other times, so because you have a few pointers and tips you can use for yourself, which immediately, even during this session we have together, you can put it into practice or after that. And please put in the comment section what's the tips, or you got what's really talked to you or resonated with you, or what is the first action you are happy to take, because your inspiration can inspire others to take action. So I have a news for you, that money is not a problem. Many people think that, oh, if I had only this much money, so then my problem would have been solved. Honestly, there is no amount of money that can solve a financial problem, because that's actually happens because of the money mindset, the poor mindset around money. We need to fix that first. And mindset is so important that if you go back to our channel and look at it, our first episode ever, it was about money mindset and how that can shape someone's wealth creation ability. So money mindset is the biggest thing. So now for that, you can obviously go to that session and watch it and learn a few stuff. And we had an expert interview as well there. But today we're going to talk about this, how to save money. So that comes back to that question. So people ask me, should I save or should I invest? Which one to do first? But remember, both of these topics are very much interrelated, but at the same time, completely separate process. Because if you don't save money, how can you invest money? So even, let's say you want to put $100 into some shares or whatever. So, and remember, we are not talking about a strategy. Strategies are irrelevant when it comes to wealth creation. So we're talking about is that even that $100 that you want to put aside every month or every fortnight to put it into some saving, first you need to be able to save it, then invest it. So, but to answer your question, it's both. You need to invest, save and invest. You can't say that, okay, we have to save to a certain amount before we invest it. It depends on your saving goals or investment goals, which depends on that. The strategy or the amount can be tailored to where you are at and how you're going to do it. So that's the first thing. So remember, you need to first save and then invest. But the next one is, which is I think the biggest question that everybody asks me is, when it comes to saving and also investing and paying off debt, which one is the winner now? What should we do first? Remember, all these three are actually competing against each other to have the first prize. That, okay, so say, oh, me first. And I'm sure you've read so many books and so many podcasts you listen to different experts. But my answer to that, I'm going to get to that by the end of the show. So there are still a few other basically prerequisites that we go through to get you ready to answer that question. Money management is all about budgeting, saving, and investment. I didn't want to put the topic of this episode as budgeting or how to do budgeting because I was sure that nobody would be intrigued to click on it and watch it. And I'll tell you why. This is my experience. I have more than 20 years of talking with clients. I know nobody gets excited to come and talk about budgeting. And every time I talk to people about budget, I just feel that physical reaction of cringing and sweat and anxiety, and then the denial kicks in, and then the blaming of government, economy, partner, family, everything else. So that's why I made it fun. A couple of years ago, I wrote an article about, and I compared budgeting with dieting, how these two, to me, is just the same. And why I wrote that and why do I think this way? Because that's something that I experienced it myself. So when it comes to dieting, I used to think that, okay, why I don't like dieting, why I don't like exercise. This was a reality. And then I remember after writing it down and going through that self-discovery, I found out that every time when I was a kid, so when I was at the school, exercise was just a punishment. If you were doing something wrong, then you had to do the sit-up or go run around the oval. So you always seen that as an act of punishment, not something joyful, something that's going to make you happy or release endorphin. So how much do you really know about your debt? So honestly, you should know your debt, your savings, anything you have, just like back of your hands. So you kind of say, well, I know I have superannuation, but I don't know where it is. I know I have a couple of places here and there, but not sure exactly how much it is. It's just the same as you don't know how much money is in your bank account. At the same time, if you've got debt, did you know if you have $5,000 credit card debt and you just make the minimum repayment, which is usually now at the 18% interest rate on a credit card, if you pay about $100 a month, which is the minimum payment, it's going to take you 33 years to pay it off. I've got the calculator. It's just, I'll put it in the comment section. You go there and put there your debt, so you don't have to put in the comment section how much debt you have. So just face the reality. That's the main thing, to move over denial, to see where is your problem. Some people, they just downplay their problem. They say, oh, I'm not happy with my financial situation, but it's not that bad. I guess comparing to others, it's not that bad. This is absolute denial. So you need to head through it and just do it now. It's just like a snowball effect. The more you leave it and think, okay, now it's going to, hope that it will melt, it will actually get bigger and bigger and bigger. So remember, just make sure your debts, you will just put them aside to say how much debts you have. And the rule of thumb is the biggest debt with the biggest interest rate has to be tackled first. So let's say if you owe money to your family, which hopefully you don't have to pay it back to them with interest. I know they may give you a hard time about that money, so that's what the family is for. But if you can ask your family to say, okay, I'll pay you that $100 a month or $200 a month, and instead of that, the money that you just came by and pay your credit card debt, that would be the wise things to do. So make sure you know exactly what you have and what to do it. Because if you don't know where is your debt and how much you are paying, how can you just then do the budgeting and find out where the extra is gone and how to come up with some more saving from there? Imagine the money that would have saved by not paying minimum payment there. And there are other items which are absolutely unnecessary to have, such as a Netflix. I know I've got a Netflix. I mean, many people have. But if you cannot claim it in your tax, definitely that's not a good expense to have. Or having a bad habit of smoking, which obviously is not good for your health. The amount of money you spend on a cigarette these days is absolutely shocking. So depends on how much you smoke, you can easily save that money. Did you know if you've got a credit card debt of $5,000 with the average 18% interest on a normal credit card, and you make only the minimum payment, which is about $100 a month, it's going to take you 33 years to pay it off. And by that time, you paid more than $17,000 back. So now you can figure that how much, what do we mean by bad debt and which one do you have to pay first? I will put the link there for you to calculate your own debt, so you don't have to put it in the comment section if you don't want to share it with others. But I would love to hear from you that how much you've saved by just doing that, by just adding extra money into that, so you just pay it off quicker. So easily, without knowing you and your budget and your expenditure, saved money already just by doing this little exercise. And that's why Warren Buffett said, stay away from credit card. Instead, invest that money in yourself, in your education, in you. So credit cards only good for those who know how to manage it. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying that you don't know how to manage it if you've got a credit card. That happens to everyone. But if you will be able to recycle that debt as an investment debt, I know it's just going a bit maybe far ahead and goes to a strategy, but I just want to tell you that there are ways to change things and it could be possible. And the main thing is not to delay your appointment with a financial advisor, because you don't know the tricks, you don't know the legality around how to recycle debt, how to make sure it's legally done, and in terms of tax or any other system, it depends on where you live in the world. There are ways how to get rid of it. I had a client about a couple of years ago. This lady, after her divorce and the business went down with her ex, and some of the debt, because she was just the admin part of the company, so a lot of debt was on her shoulder. And she was avoiding the calls from debt collectors. And obviously for a single mom who's trying to get her life back on normal, that was a very devastating experience. And lucky for her, she was introduced by her friend to me, and we went through it. And can you believe it? More than $38,000 credit card debt, we managed to negotiate with the financial institution, and it just came down to $11,000. So there are ways that can be done. It's legal, it's a way to do it, and that's why if you have ever dealt with financial hardship before the problems hits the fan, please get in touch. Make sure that you're talking to someone who knows their stuff and they know what they're talking about. So that's why when it comes to money management and everything, to me budgeting comes first. Then having that 3 months emergency funds. Then investing money for the purpose of a bigger goal, a saving, and then investment. But there is a sixth item, which is a very important, and many people overlook at it: having a proper insurance in place. There is no wealth creation without wealth protection. You don't want your wealth just to go away just because you didn't put the proper amount of protection around your wealth. It bugs me when I see people that they are happy to insure their car, which is maybe value of $10,000, and even they insure their house. But when it comes to their own income, to their own health, and there are other ways of insuring the business, they fail to do so. So make sure you have that talk with your advisor so that you will not make that mistake again. So now you saw that the process of budgeting is not that horrible that you thought it could be. It's actually fun. And it may not sound easy, but I promise you it's worth every penny, because you're going to save that money anyway for a better good for yourself and your family. And now we are finished with this section. So I really want you to again ask you this question. Please write down what was the first action you're going to take today after watching this episode so far. Because again, that action is going to be your first step to your journey to financial independence. Because our aim should be about financial independence and financial freedom. It's not about that, okay, as long as we measure our wealth with having a flashy car or a mansion, of course we will be disappointed. Because the true definition of disappointment is when the reality and our expectation don't meet. And no wonder people are living a very disappointing life, because what they expect to have or get is very different to reality. So if you think that, okay, by doing a 9-to-5 job, you're gonna save enough money to do what you wanna do, good for you, that's great. So you have to do what makes sense for you. You do you, that's the theme for 2020. You do what works for you. And if it's not working, don't give up. Try to find a way that works for you, because believe me, there is always a way to do that. And if you ask yourself, well, why I'm a broke person? Why I'm having this financial problem? So instead of asking those questions, which is a very actually disempowering question, always find how you can do it better, how you can make more money, how you can find ways. There are ways even with the low income you can make money, such as using your talent, and everybody has a talent, whether it's the cooking, painting, or just even consulting. You can find a way to make money out of your talent. So then you live a very purposeful life, because at the end of the day you are doing what you are really love, and you're good at it. So you don't have to fake it. You don't have to just follow because you had to study that particular subject in a school and uni, and now you have to work there. So there are many people who have a great job, such as lawyer, even medical practitioners, who turn to a completely opposite different business and different creation, is just because they followed what they wanted to do. And they are, at least, maybe the money is not that great, but at least they are happy. And isn't it the whole purpose and reason of our life? And it's not just about to bring our bank account to a certain number. It's just about having a good life and think that, okay, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I live the purposeful life. So we've finished for today. Thank you so much for watching so far, and please send us your recommendation and your comments. We love to hear from you. So thanks again for watching. Please like and tag your friends, whoever you think that they need to watch this, or will get benefit from budgeting. Or if they kept telling you, I don't know how to save money, I don't have any money, just tell them, okay, look, how about we watch this episode. So do yourself a favor and others too. So next time, if you ask that question from yourself, put $1 aside. You never know, maybe you'll become a millionaire by doing that. Have a great day, and until next episode, have a healthy, wealthy life. Good day. Hi, my name is Helia Singh, and welcome to my show, Wealth Coaching with Helia Singh, the fastest way to build wealth.